Okay, let's take a look at another example. We are given that tangent of theta equals 4/5. What is cosine of theta? Well, what's the definition of tangent? This is why I teach you to really have these definitions firmly imprinted in your brain, just like the definition of a word. So by now I hope that you know that tangent is opposite over adjacent, the toa and SOHCAHTOA. So therefore we know opposite side must be 4 and adjacent side must be 5. We're trying to solve for cosine, which involves adjacent and hypotenuse. So you can see that we're probably going to have to find the hypotenuse. So this is what my triangle looks like. Again, yours might look differently, but again, for step 1, you want to draw the triangle. Your opposite side is 4 and your adjacent side is 5 from theta. And we can see now that we don't know what the hypotenuse is, so we're probably going to have to solve for that, especially considering cosine involves the hypotenuse. Okay, so step 2 again is to plug in the known sides for this trig ratio we're trying to figure out. So we know that the adjacent side is 5 since we were given tangent. We just need to find the hypotenuse. So we're going to do that again using the Pythagorean theorem like we did in the last example. 4 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. Now this is not a Pythagorean triplet, so when we take the square root of this, it's not going to come out evenly. We just get the square root of 41, right? So that is our hypotenuse. Square root of 41 is a little bit bigger than 6, right? Because 6 squared is 36. A little smaller than 7. But that's all we need to figure out cosine, right? So let's go ahead and do it. Now cosine, again, is adjacent over hypotenuse. We were already given the adjacent side. Here we have to rationalize the denominator, which again I think most of you are comfortable with doing that. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Basically, you multiply the top and bottom by the radical. Final answer here is 5 radical 41 over 41. And that's going to give us cosine of theta. Alright, if you have any other questions about this example, let me know. Sometimes I like to plug this into the calculator, so we can do that real quick, because sometimes we forget about what we're actually solving for. So give me a second, pull that calculator up. Okay, here's what I got when I plugged in 5 squared of 41 over 41. I got about 0.78. So going back to what that actually means, let's just round that to 0.8. Okay, so basically what? 8/10, right? Or 4/5 to be exact, to be close. So basically the adjacent side divided by this side is about 4/5. In other words, this, and going back to the 0.8, this side is about 80% of this side. Sometimes I like to bring that up with my students. We can even color this if we want. So this side, the blue side, is about 80% of the purple side. So we sometimes get lost in the abstraction with this weird fraction here. That's all that means. Okay, trig ratios are a way of describing how many times one side fits into another, and a lot of times converting that to a percentage really helps me, and also I think helps my students as well. So you could actually write this answer as cosine of theta is approximately 80%. And I know a lot of teachers don't use percentages for trig ratios, but to me it's really helpful in understanding what's going on here conceptually. So again, if you have any other questions about this example, let me know.